scared of being the competition any more than you were when you lined up across from a superior team. Yeah, on paper, they're a better team.
Right.
They have all the assets and resources and we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't. Wow.
Keep it going. Some privilege and a dog blowing. Hold it down for the Bay, reppin' Oakland.
It's all a fugazi.
And you know the difference between me reading your papers now and me reading your papers 10 years ago is that now I know when I read it. 10 years ago, I didn't know when I read it.
This is no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not fucking real.
Right? All right.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies.
Carrying a school bag on stage. What are you doing with a school bag on stage? You can't even read.
No, you ain't the champ. Hey, listen, don't make me embarrassing. How you gonna do that? Embarrassing. How you gonna do the champ? You go fight more than 4,000 people live. One more people in training.
40 years old carrying a school bag. The man doesn't even fucking read.
And Dad tried to teach me and my brothers, never try to be better than someone else. Always learn from others. And never cease trying to be the best you could be. That's under your control. I coined my own definition of success, which is peace of mind, attained only through self-satisfaction and knowing you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable.
What do you both think about fear?
I'm not in this world to live up to your expectations. I'm here to live up to mine.
He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life.
Fear is a teacher.
And I don't skip class.
What are you doing?
Hey.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now.
Hey now. Hey now. Yeah. Hey now. Hey now. Hey now. Hey now.
Did I just nail the grail?
You just hit the grail.
Did I just nail the grail? Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now.
What's up, guys? I don't know. I felt why not? It's fun. I enjoy coming on here, hanging with you guys. You can't afford rent. Let's see. I have other things though. And also some of you guys might want a couple things. I've never asked you guys for questions. If you have any questions for me, throw them in the chat and I'll try to get to them. What else did I want to mention? If you also want to recommend any videos we should watch, maybe you saw a video, it's like, hey, that's a video you should see, or that's a video people should see. I'm all for recommendations of videos. There's our bingo card so far through the year. I guess Panini's selling, I don't know, printing wrong, no free here. So Panini's selling kind of that takes care, that's probably the most important square on the board, but you could still make a line anyway. What else? Live every Tuesday, Wednesday. Yes, we're super close to 8,000 subscribers. So thank you, subscribers, members, people watching the lives. Okay. Early on, I just want to throw this out there. We were getting consistent voicemails, so I want to put a little pressure on you. I feel like I'm at least trying my best over here and putting in the effort. The show is better with voicemails. I'm not talking trash. I enjoy, even if the voicemail segment's one day of the 2 days where we do 15 minutes, but the show is better with voicemails. Call in. I think the best time frame is between 30 seconds to a minute. When you start getting it over a minute, it runs a little long. If you have extra to say, save it for next time or save it for another voicemail. But the show is better with voicemail. So 702-483-7344. Doesn't have to be long. Give a rant, give your take, so we get some voicemails for next week. Members, thank you to all the members. $5 for the month. You see on the screen, kind of get emojis in chat, yada, yada, yada. But I want to look at charts. So I have couple videos I want to watch. I want to look at charts. We've looked at some charts. I want to finish a thought here. Oh yeah. Giving away a little bundle at the end of the month, every month. So anyways, that's what mainly, I have these members. It's like, I want to make sure it's worth being $5 a month. I want to remove this real quick. Oh, I don't have it next to me. So never mind. Nope. Adding it back. Let's see. someone called this in chat. We were looking at this and I was questioning, well, then how does he have this image with them? And someone mentioned AI, and Logan Paul calls out OnlyFans star over AI photo of him. He made sure his wife knew that was not him with her. She lied and cost me 10 mil. Did she cost you 10 million, or did it just help pump the whole sale and push it in front of everybody and keep people talking about it? Did she really cost you 10? This line makes no sense. She lied. All right. I don't understand this, and cost me 10.2 mil. That doesn't really make it make sense. You call, hey, because he's covering his ass. Foul ball, blue red master. What's going on? Helmet marks. I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's see. Helmet marks, we'll call you. So anyways, that's, Logan Paul, someone sent me up. AI wasn't real. Logan Paul called out OnlyFans creator anybody. It seems like a great controversy. It seems like a great way to put the card out, look like the card's more organically out there. Who the hell knows? Did she really lie out of nowhere and create an AI photo and said she offered 10.2? Is that just good marketing for her? Possibly. Weird story. Very weird story. Talk about a weird story. That's as 2026 story as you could get. That's just all around the whole selling of the card, everything. Just a weird story. Trade rumors circulated. Lamar Jackson could be traded to the Raiders. I hope this is just just stupid talk. I want to start even if Mendoza's not the guy. I want my own quarterback. We drafted him. He's ours. And if he sucks, well, the Raiders normally suck anyways. But Lamar's not the savior. He's not the answer. I also want that rookie quarterback contract, because then we could go fill. Everyone's, you need to have other holes. You have other needs. Well, yeah, but when you get your quarterback at a discount where everyone else, even the Geno Smiths of the world, get paid fat, that rookie quarter, it's been the Niners strategy forever. Finally, they had to pay up for Brock Purdy, but yes, that rookie quarterback deal. And look at all the anyway. So, and look at the teams now. I mean, Rams handle a little different. They got rid of Goff. He wanted Stafford. He wanted his guy McVay. But Broncos, young quarterback. A rookie last year, who was Drake May, rookie. Were they both last year's quarterback class? So that's just the way it goes. Josh Allen was a rookie. He's had it good for years. You need that young quarterback. And you get to build and fill other parts of the team. But more interesting was SCV under this. So I remember about 6 months ago, before he deleted all his stuff, yada yada, he was Shedeur Sanders. He was saying Shedeur Sanders is it. I'm buying Shedeur. I think Shedeur is a good buy. And the past 2 weekends have been historically great for me. Besides one guy, Shedeur Sanders, what a disaster. And you'd think the opposite, right? You think, okay, he didn't play. You got time to pick him up. And then all of a sudden he comes in. He plays pretty well on a bad team. But overall, he played much better. He played better. I think people have better hopes than worse, and you never know. I'm not saying he's going to be good at all, but he had some moments where it's like, he can make that throw. He made that decision. Interesting. So, and you had time to pick him up. Does he say more here? He lights it on fire. More everyone AI. Interesting. Okay. Sooner, never, eventually, very soon in the near future, and it might be happening now. We don't know what AI is and what isn't. Based on top QBR, minimum 5 starts, the 10 lowest for rookie NFL quarterbacks from 2006 to 2025. He had that low of a QBR. Am I wrong? So did he play terrible? From the eye test, he played pretty well. I'm kind of surprised it was that bad. $222 for this mosaic. Number to 99, $202 for a PSA 10 pop 1 red and yellow. Oh shit. But if we read, he's basically saying at the bottom, I may buy national treasures before next season if I'm in the mood to waste a few grand on high risk gamble. But other than that, never another Shedeur Sanders card. Just calling it a gamble. But what is the story? I bought a bunch. Let's see if I can make this. Yeah. You see that? Yeah. I bought a bunch. Past 2 weekends have been historically great for me, besides one guy, mainly Shedeur Sanders. I bought a bunch of his mosaic signatures when he became the starter. I graded them via PSA regular service for $75 each. $75 each, damn. And almost got all PSA 10s. Should be great, right? Wrong. I lost money on pretty much every PSA 10 I sold the past weekend. or this past weekend. I auctioned almost all of them at once because he has next to zero Browns uniform PSA 10 cards up, and the market isn't there. I don't think it'll ever be there. I figured his cult following, it's like Tebow, but the opposite. All right. Would go nuts on these. I guess not. You got to win. He did not. He did some good things. I agree. He did. He looked. I saw some stuff out of him. I was a little surprised with how well it was. But he's historically bad. Metrics don't help me peddle cards, and I think he just makes too many mistakes. For the record, I think he should start next year. I mean, he was playing on a bad team. They fired their coach, and they should hire Deion Sanders as coach. They did not do that, and I'd watch every game. It would make for a nice disaster. After all, the NFL is an entertainment product. AI written. I may buy a National Treasures RPA 99 before next season if I'm in the mood to waste a few grand on high risk gamble. Other than that, never a Shedeur. So he was a Shedeur guy. He was buying Shedeur, and apparently it lost him money. Now, he said he had a good, other than that, everything went well. But the one guy, you can never bank on the one guy because the one guy could, be Wander Franco. All right, we got Blue Red Master. We're not going to do a lot. Show just started. But yeah, let's do a few minutes. I'm sure you have your take on our boy Shedeur Sanders. So let's listen to the prophet here, Blue Red Master. How we doing? Happy.
So you know what? You know how to avoid overhyped quarterbacks?
Don't buy them.
Just take a look at where they're drafted and make sure that you're not drafted or buying like a bum, because that's what's going to happen. Is if you buy a guy who's in Cleveland, you're not going to have success.
How do you know if they're a bum though?
But if you're going to buy a guy like Sam Darnold, who's having one of the greatest seasons ever for a Seattle Seahawks quarterback, he's a much more better buy.
Yeah, I mean, but they're different. Sam Darnold's not a rookie. Sam Darnold's been playing quite a while now. Sam Darnold wasn't a good buy when he was a rookie. He was a really bad buy. He was a bust.
But I think
you like that Shuck guy from the Saints. Why the hell do you like Shuck?
It's because he might get Rookie of the Year, and if that does happen, they're going to have to just make him the franchise quarterback.
Yeah, that doesn't mean he's going to be good.
I think he'll have that year 2 bump.
What NBA player should people be buying right now?
I think Cedric Coward and Con Knipple over Cooper Flag. That's just plain simple.
You still like the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl?
Yes, because I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan, and I've been waiting for this my whole life since the Legion of Boom days.
I think you said you're 21, is that right?
Yep.
All right, so I guess you were growing up when they were doing that stuff. My grandfather had season tickets to the Rams. He died when I was 12, so he had season tickets before I was born. But I have a little allegiance to not a little. I like the Rams, so I'll be rooting against you this weekend. But if they win, I'm happy for you. I'm glad to know you're a Seahawk. You're a big Seahawks fan. Okay. So why do you like the Seahawks to beat the Rams on Sunday?
It's because you know how Seattle Seahawks tend to win more when their team is disrespected by the media.
Okay. Interesting. The Rams are strong, man. So are the Seahawks, clearly, but I like this Rams team. I'm not saying I think they had a great game late in the season there. It either went overtime or it was like 35-36. It was extremely close. It was a great game. So I think Sunday is going to be a really good game.
And also, one more thing. The Rams have no Aaron Darnold, so.
No, but they got Verse. Is that his name? Verse? They drafted him a couple years back. He's filled in nicely. Who's your best defender right now?
I think it's probably Nick Emmanuel.
You guys don't. Yeah, what man? All right, your defense maybe doesn't get enough love name-wise. I can't think who's your DBs. You know your team.
I think I know DeMarcus Lawrence, Ernest Jones, and Brian Murphy, which he was a rookie in 2023, who was drafted. I think it was actually in 2024. I don't know when he was drafted.
Yesterday I saw something because there's supposed to be NBA expansion. I'm in Vegas. I don't know how long I'll be in Vegas. I don't know. Are you in Washington?
Yes, I am.
So do you really want the Sonics to come back?
I would like the Sonics to come back, because then if we're placed in the East and have an NBA Finals with Oklahoma City Thunder, that would be the greatest NBA Finals in NBA history. Just period.
Just period. Yep. Fuck the Thunder. I'm sure you guys don't like the Thunder up there, or I can't imagine.
But you know what? If what's his name? SGA gets an injury, I might as well buy like an SGA card, because I kind of do appreciate sometimes the moment, rather than just being one of those types of people that sometimes hates on everything.
I don't take it. Why do I take it easy? He calls in all the time. He's always here. This is probably the most time I've given Blue Red Master. And you know what? I mean, he has. Why not listen to all different things, I guess. And I don't know about your rainbow. I'm not, we could talk about that. I'm not, I don't love ultra modern, but he's 21. I mean, are you spending thousands of dollars on cards? I can't imagine.
I may have done a slight investment on like that, because I felt like there's a really good opportunity buying on Con Knipple rookie cards, because I really felt like he was going to break the rookie 3-point record, and I think he's on 143 rookies or 3-pointers right now.
NBA 3-point record. Okay, and so how much? I think you told us one time. How much money have you invested into Con Knipple?
Probably over $1,000, but here's the thing: my gold out of 50 rookie is now like $400 raw. And if I get it back from BGS grading and it gets a 9.5, I could sell that for $1,000.
So when you say over $1,000, less than 2,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of hoping for. And I think it's a way more better investment than Cooper Flag.
I mean, it's a lot of, they're all hope right now. Cooper Flag, for me, let me give my synopsis on Cooper Flag. I think he's going to be a slow burn, just like Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham came in the league. People expect, he's so young. Cooper Flag is so young. And so let him develop. He doesn't go out clubbing and partying. He wants to be great. Anyways, Blue Red Master, I'm going to let you go. Anything you want to tell the people before I do?
Whatever you do, don't buy JJ McCarthy, and especially don't buy Jaden Daniels next year.
Too late. Agree on JJ. I never would have been telling you JJ. The reason I'll disagree with Jaden Daniels is people get excited by excitement. People get, I know that sounds so stupid. They get swayed. People get excited for a card when a player has a certain playing style. And so that's why I've always liked Anthony Edwards the past few years going into the playoffs, because Anthony Edwards, every time he gets in the playoffs, they win in the first round. Oh my God, he plays like Jordan. Oh, he looks like Kobe. Oh, he's so good. He's attractive to watch. He's fun to watch. Where Gilgeous-Alexander, maybe not the same case. Now, of course, his cards went up, but people love it. They get excited about the play. And so Jaden Daniels is flashy, exciting. He makes big plays. I'm very curious next year what happens with Caleb Williams, because for some reason he doesn't start locking in until 3 minutes in the fourth, down by 8. It's some weird thing. I went live and saw him play against the Raiders, and they blocked the field goal to win. But for some reason, his passes are sharper. They're more accurate. It doesn't I don't know. It makes it for a fun ending, but why not put a whole game together? It's very interesting, but it's obvious, especially this last week, his passes were extremely sharper in that last drive. They were extremely accurate. They were great decisions. I mean, but this guy, I'm Shedeur Sanders, Eli, we're not talking about him, but SCV says no more Shedeur Sanders for him. Let's escape this. What else we got? Any questions for myself? I guess that's a weird fucking thing to say. Any questions for myself? I don't think so. He hasn't been jaded yet. That's right. Who says that? It's true excitement excites me. A different perspective. I'd like to see Blue Red play at the NBA All-Star Celebrity. Hey now, I agree. Blue Red Master probably has a Con Knipple background on his phone. I never hear anyone else talk about him more. I thought he was a star of last year's tournament. He was great in the tournament. Just by Pirate TCG. You say you hate me. You're such a hater. It's so weird how anime Like I'll give some anime TCG cards to my students, but yeah, you gotta, you know, I don't understand how that works, where it's more acceptable. Kids are just watching anime and it's so can be pretty risque. But they're also, I teach 5th grade. I think every single one of my 5th graders has watched Squid Games. I think they've all watched Scream. Like it's not, they're all watching the scary rated R movies. They're not just my students. That's just how it is now. So it's kind of weird. I don't know why you're hating me on that. I enjoyed it. I bought it ever since the beginning. I liked it. Sports cards are too expensive. I know you're just trolling, but sports cards got expensive. There was no value. It wasn't fun for me when I was able to go buy a One Piece box for $150 or $140, open 24 packs and have fun. I didn't do it often. I think I ripped 3 or 4 boxes about a year ago. I'm like, dude, these cards are just going to sit here. Then I learned how to play the game. I'm just not social, and I don't want to go hang out. I don't want to do that with the TC. I just don't want to do that. You know, I don't go to trade nights either. I'm just not the most social creature in the world. But yeah, I know how to play the game. I enjoy it. I own, I think, the first 18 books. The first 18 mangas of the series. So, I own a little toy here. I don't know. I like One Piece. What do you want me to do? I shouldn't have done. It was a great purchase, by the way. I bought those boxes for $190 and they're now $2,000. I didn't, I expected 20 years from now, 15 years, having the first box sealed is a good idea. It's fun, but yeah. And then some more recently, I got a little, I put a little money into some singles that I want to grade, but now I'm so conflicted about how to fucking grade them. I don't know what I want to do. I am not no chance. I'm not selling. Even if it dips, it's the first ones ever. It's not the blue bottom, which is the first print run. It's the white bottom, but it's the same cards inside, same exact cards. There's no first edition label. There's no nothing that's there's nothing different about the cards that come in the pack. So just a different box. I play Dungeons and Dragons. Do you really? If that's true, I didn't know that about you. Yeah, all right. Points for Neo, if that's true. Is he trolling me more, or is that true? I don't know Neo. Neo's a tough cookie to read, man. Maybe be a good poker player. I don't know. Who the hell knows? But I don't know if you're teasing me or if you really play Dungeons and Dragons every week. Where do you find the time? Where would you find the time between all the channels? Hey, dude tracks as a Dungeons and Dragon player. Yeah, that's kind of true. Gorilla Farm has your back. Neo's a real one. If he's playing Dungeons and Dragons, that's pretty okay. I respect that. These are just recent sales. I have a couple charts I want to look at. A factory sealed 1990 Upper Deck High Series set with Nolan Ryan, $10. Bob Marley card for $15. What do we got? Nothing standing out to me. I think I want to get off this pretty quick. No one cares about these. What are these? Cacao, Cosmos, Warner, 25. Yeah, who cares? All right. Hey, speaking of One Piece, there you go. Oh, Eddie Guerrero, though. Eddie Guerrero. I have this card. This is some of those years I collected. Talk about a real one. Okay, Griffey. I want to make a little idea here. By the way, it's down a little. I didn't realize that. 4,300. If we look at just the last 3 months, yeah, it's pretty even. Okay. So it's 4,300 in a PSA 10. If we look in a PSA 9, Neil's waiting for the next juicy social media post to post the first video reacting. That thing Neo's become a regular one of us here. Let's see. Agent Scully, Auto, I'm jealous, serious. So I did miss that as scrolling. Sorry about that good for her. That is also missed that. I would take an Agent Scully autograph in a heartbeat. What I want to mention, I don't know. Over the past week or at least few days, I've gotten some really nice emails or messages. One saying, this guy's, who is, I don't want to say. Anyways, his leg's all fucked up and he's been messed up for 6 months. And he's just saying, your channel is one that I look forward to. And it's like, man, that competition aside or cards aside, that's pretty neat when you get messages like that, man. That is pretty sweet. So, okay, the Griffey card. Oh no. Okay, let's go back to Griffey. I didn't put it in its own. No, I didn't. Okay, so the point I want to make is here's the Griffey 10, and it's it climbed to almost $5,000. Okay, and there's 4,300 in a PSA 10. I think there's over 150,000 total graded copies. Is it 180 or am I mistaken? Yeah, 189,000, growing every day, soon to be over 200,000. I believe it's the most graded card of all time. Okay, so there is a ceiling, a hard ceiling, because then there's no way this card should, even though Bowman, you can say, okay, Bowman's not as fancy, but a Bowman 9 Tiffany is, to me, is better than that PSA 10, and it sells for $2,000 less. And then if you go to the PSA 10, there's 159 of these cards, but everything's so warped with 10, 9, all these, you have to have that 10, and the wealthy, people have the money, want the 10, 10, 10, but it's 14,000 with 159. So just in a 10 and a 9 alone, and even an 8, I mean, there's how many copies of this? 2,644 total copies. So this thing 2,644 total Bowman Tiffany copies graded all time, which is still slightly high overall, but fine. 2,644, where if you look at the upper deck, just the PSA 10, people just don't know what they're doing, or they're just blinded, or it's just not logical right now. There's 4,300 just in a 10. So in any grade, the other card, it's still far more rare. Oh, this one's more, this is more legendary. Well, then why does the 10 sell for $14,000 and this one sells for $4,300? Or why does the 9 sell for $300? If this card's so fucking iconic and it sells for $370 in a 9, why does the Bowman Tiffany in a 9 sell for $2,500? And it's still far less. This is the next best 519. There's only 150. So what? There's 700 copies in a 9 or a 10. 700. True rare. That's true rarity. 700 copies in a 9 or a 10 in Bowman Tiffany. All right, but the 9 sells for $2,500, and you have to go spend $4,500. Where'd it go? To get the upper deck PSA 10, which is just, it's stupid. People don't know what they're doing. They don't really know what's rare. They don't really know what's iconic. The Tiffany cards are far less print run. They are the rare parallel, and it's just a way. Again, let's just make a point here. You're talking, oh, it's the most iconic card. Well, no. Pop count talks and everything else walks. This won't stay. I don't care. When people wake up to what's up, they're going to move out of this and move into the Tiffany. 189,000. This is the most graded card of all time. There's still boxes of this stuff with definitely many more Griffey cards waiting to be ripped. Where the Bowman Tiffany is extremely rare. And now where's the other Tiffany? I don't know. We can look at it. Here's another Tiffany. Bowman Tiffany is extreme. I wouldn't say extremely rare. Relatively way more rare compared. There's 100 and whatever, 159 to 10. That's why it's 14,000. That's why it's triple the price of the upper deck 10, even though the upper deck 10, you're right, is an iconic card, but pop count matters. And then they're just dumb. Then it's just all 10, 10, 10, 10, because in a PSA 9, this Tiffany card, which is still far more rare than that, I'm just going to hammer it home, the upper deck 10, it's far less price wise. So people just don't have a clue. They don't know what they're talking about. The 89 Tiffany's are also rare. That's right, Orlando. That's what I was thinking. Let's look that one up and then we'll move on from let's see what that one sells for. The PSA 10 currently sells for $5,000, about the same price. So yes, this Topps card, we did find its ceiling. The upper deck 89. Oh my God, it's the best card of all time, the most iconic modern card of all time, which maybe is true. And then that's a conflict in itself. Is that card modern? Because it's not. You want to call it vintage? Because it's not. It's junk wax. It's an important era that just can't go away. Vintage predates junk wax. Then junk wax comes. It pretty much kills vintage. If we're talking about it in terms of era in sports cards, and 90s is kind of its own thing with all the new inserts, all the new trying, all the different companies. Is it junk wax? Anyways, so this Tiffany card, as Orlando points out, there's 345 in a 10 and it sells for $5,000. So the Griffey upper deck card has no chance it shouldn't, ever reach this card or peak over it. And if it does, you're a fool to spend the $5,000 on the upper deck version when there's $4,000. There's 4,000 copies. It's the most graded card of all time. And this one has 345 copies. And I bet you there's under 2,000 all time, with 3,265, all time. And the 9 currently selling for $540. I normally wouldn't recommend a card, and I'm not saying it will ever go up, but that seems like an incredibly great value for that 9. There are 1,500 of them, so it loses a little rarity there, but it's the 9 Tiffany. So I can't believe it's $540. That's considering where it's just people don't know. People aren't that into the hobby. People don't care. They see money signs. They think they know. They know what social media tells them, or what Jeff Wilson tells them, or what Ken Golden tells them, but they don't really know. You know, I mean, that's what it is. That upper deck card has no reason ever being the price it is right now. And we'll see what it does. We'll see if it continues to go up or falls. We watch it every week. It's currently 4,300. It's been around that price. Between 4,000 to 5,000 the last 3 months. How about last 6 months? Yeah, climbed a little. So anyways, that's where we're at. And depending what sales you're looking at, and there was a $5,000 sale right there, 5, another 5, and it just had a hard time breaking that. But if you just look at eBay sales, recent sales, you'll find $6,000 cards sales. However, Hoj, who we had on House of Jordan, who runs Card Ladder, own a Card Ladder. Or I guess now Collector owns Card Ladder, so that's not true. Whatever his title is for Card Ladder, he said they don't put certain sales because they vet them. So this is an interesting card to follow. I don't expect it to keep going up. I expect it to go down. And then let's compare them to bonds. What's the bonds market doing? Here's the bonds tops traded PSA 10, and it's $764, where the Griffey PSA 10 is $4,500. Let's the Fleer 87, $500 for his PSA 10. There's 1,200 in a 10, and it's 10 times less, almost 9 times less than that Griffey card. It doesn't, that Griffey card is just a pipe dream. It's a sales job. That's all, I mean, bonds is just, when it comes down to it, people never saw Griffey play and they go back, oh, Griffey or bonds. Well, bonds hit the most home runs all time. They're not going to remember they're not, it's not going to have the nostalgia it has for Gio or whoever the hell is buying into bonds, and he's the chosen one. What about Chipper Jones? What about Ricky Henderson? What about this guy on the screen? And you can name 5 or 10 others. But this Tiffany card, this is a BGS 9. That's why. All right, $16,000 for the Tiffany here. 455 copies in a 9. $1,300. That's a BGS 9, though. We wanted a PSA 10. That goes for less, so than the PSA would. Anyways, these refractors are interesting. These are the 90s inserts that, carry more weight than many rookie cards. And that just shows 90s was a lot different. You can't compare the 90 insert wave and the 90 cool things they were kind of coming out with versus the 80s junk wax, where it was the same in every pack, every card, there was no variation. It's hard to compare the two. I don't know what you'd label the 90s inserts. I don't know. That's the insert era to me. Charles calls in. We'll throw Charles on. Collector Charles, how we doing?
This is some of the best content. I like it when you just look up cards and we bullshit. Good stuff. This is good stuff.
Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for the feedback.
I want to look at one curious case in particular is Bo Jackson.
Football or baseball, or doesn't really matter, I guess.
Let's just continue on the baseball category because we're on a baseball kit.
The other guy I had was Otani. So after we do Bo, let's do Otani. All right, here's his Topps Tiffany. PSA 10, $1,700. That's a nice card. I like that card.
Yeah, so the one that I like the most, I think, that's his Future Stars. There's a rookie.
Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
It's the one with the black border on it, I believe.
86, the rookie.
Yes,
Which one? This is the one or no?
It's the one.
This one's selling 320 in a PSA 10. This one, I think, is what you're talking about. Topps traded.
Yes,
yeah,
that one right there.
That's in a 9.
That one
for $100. There's 5,000 in a 10. There's 1,100 currently, $1,300.
Right, and that's just the traded card. I bet the Tiffany card is probably in the $6,000 or $7,000 range.
Oh yeah, I bet more.
Because it's people underestimate. When we were growing up, me and you, Professor, Bo Jackson was it. He was everywhere. He was on commercials for Nike. He played 2 sports.
Bo knows
everything. He was it. Like everyone talks about the hype of all these players nowadays. It's like you were not alive or you don't remember Bo Jackson's hype. That dude was everywhere. He was probably the most recognizable person, at least in North America.
And he played 2 sports.
And he did kicked ass at him. He kicked ass. He just got injured, and that's the only thing. He got injured and became an average player.
It really hurt his football career. I mean, he couldn't really play football anymore, but I think he continued to play baseball.
Yeah, he played for like another 6 years in baseball with that bum hip, and still
he
was
only
like
has 37 in a PSA 10 so far. I mean, that's rarity, and it's 13 grand. But because there's 37, it really hikes the price up. 188, it's $2,000. The Griffey card it's not gonna. It's in a moment. That's all. Some of these cards are in a moment.
And if you're buying to collect, why wouldn't you just buy a PSA 9? It looks identical.
There, that's right.
It's identical. Like the eye test, unless you're a grader, you can't tell the difference between a 9 and a 10. Now, on that border, on the other hand, now you probably could tell if it's got a white corner on it or something because it's a black border. But that's something that's so negligible. It's like I would pay for a 9 all day long instead of a 10 just because I like the card. I don't really need the grade. I'm not going to flip a card I'm going to keep in my collection. I have a Joe Montana PSA 7 that looks like a 9 or a 10, but I bought it because a 7 is much cheaper than a 9. You know how much a Joe Montana rookie card PSA 10 goes for?
A lot.
$70-something thousand was the last sale on it. I was flabbergasted.
There's not many.
There's not a high pop in the PSA 10.
And then as soon as you get to like 8, 7, 6, it's a $200 card or less.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Because there's this group of people in the hobby that are spending the money, and they only want 10s, and so the other group, they'll settle for a 9, and then also we'll sell for something else, a raw. But this group really values that 10, and they're just competing with each other.
Right. Plus that Topps card, by the way, the football card is probably the best looking card, low key, I've seen in like the junk wax. It's just such a very eye-pleasing card. He's sitting there in the jersey. He's just minding his own business. It's just a very nice, clean card. It's got the color and everything. Topps back in the day could really design cards. They were really good at it. And nowadays, it just seems like they're not even trying. They're just cutting and pasting and letting AI do it.
For sure. It's too much. They took on too much. Even putting that blue refractor on the mega box we saw. That's a mistake that really shouldn't. That just shows there's no the oversight is not great, in my opinion, right now.
The QC is terrible. Like I watched a channel where this guy just rips cards, and he got a chrome hobby box. He had a case of it, but this one box had so many damaged cards in it. He just sent the whole damn box in. So guys, this is terrible.
Charles, we just looked at Bo Jackson, Griffey, and Bonds. So Otani has many more rookie cards than these guys. Just a plethora.
He's got a ton of variants. Ton of variants this card.
This one has almost 5,000, 20 away. So it'll have 5,000 in a 10, and it's currently selling for $3,200. It's just you're buying in at his peak and at the card hype. So this card has no chance at holding value. Like when you go look at the Bo Jackson Tiffany in a 9, and it's cheaper than this. There's just no chance. I know he's a legend. Otani will go down as a legend, but some of these rookie cards have no business. This card was $500 in 2024. I could buy that. For it to be pushing it's $3,200 right now. That's insane. That is and even Chris Sewell came on. He's like, I've been right twice. I don't want to make a thing of it. But he's like, yeah, this might be the year Otani dips. And this is an insane price.
The one time, like I remember back in 2018 when his hype was going on, I actually considered buying cards again. And then he got hurt. And I went, I'm so glad I didn't buy a bunch into Otani and invest because I could have possibly gotten burned. But then it's
look what happened.
He's been up and down. He's gotten hurt twice. He had Tommy John surgery. His
9 here is $1,200, and there's 3,300 of them, and there was 5,000 in a 10. And this is just one variation of his rookie card. It's mine, but people are going to lose money on Otani, even though he's great.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to collect him, it's fine. But yeah, if you're buying at the peak, you're just asking for it. I mean, the thing to do, if you really want to get a card and want to get it graded, is just, you can still buy the 2018 Topps or Chrome or whatever. And it's not terribly expensive. And I guarantee you'll have at least 2 of his rookie cards in that box. They'll be base cards, but hell, if you grade them and it gets a 10, you're looking at a couple $1,000 card. That's a pretty good investment.
I look at these prices. I didn't realize these prices went to the moon here.
His stuff's going crazy. Even his 2025 stuff's going crazy. I have a ton of it. And if I got it graded and it got a 9 or a 10, I would be hitting pay dirt. But I'm still waiting to see what to do. I've got it's the Topps Bob Ross, his base card, $50 raw, just his base card. Graded, last sale for over $379. PSA 10. It's crazy.
All right, this is what, the 9 or 10? This is the 10. So the 10 was $650 in 2024, April, and currently selling for $3,200. But sell now. Sell at the top. I mean,
sell now and buy it back in 2 years when it's half price.
That's right. And the people buying this stuff won't want that because they don't want to collect it like that. They want it for the money. I really believe.
Somebody at my hobby shop said he sold a Mike Trout card like at his peak for like a few $1,000s. He bought the same card, not the identical one, but he bought the same card, same grade back, like a third of the price. He has the card back and he paid a third of what he sold it for. So he made money and he's got his card back. I mean, you got to wait things out sometimes. Be patient. But you're buying at the peak. You're buying either to collect or you just don't know what you're doing. You're like King of Cards.
The only other time, and they didn't fall all the way back to original price, but they were much cheaper. The only other time we've seen a spike like this overall in general is COVID. And what happened is you saw 2 or 3 years of prices just going down, down, down. It was like every week you buy a card, next week it's more, the next week it's more, the next week's more. And then the opposite happened. Then what does that lead to? Anything goes up, comes down. Okay, the next week it was less. The next week it was less. And then people were just losing their ass on this stuff. Get rid of it as soon as you can.
And think about this, like Bo Jackson, Barry Bonds, John Montana, these guys, their variety of rookie cards are very, very limited. Otani, you're not even factoring in his parallels. The ones at 99.
Oh, I know. 50. Or the auto. Yeah, no, you're everything else that is some of those auto rare stuff might continue. I believe, okay, that could continue to hold value, but this other stuff, yes, and you're right. Tons of parallels.
Autographs are the only thing I would invest in, honestly. If I wanted to invest, autograph cards, unless it's a fake autograph, it's always going to hold its value because he actually signed the card. And that's the modern hobby nowadays.
But like Petty said with Otani, he signed the modern hobby. They signed so much.
Yeah. And he has so many
waters down.
So many one of ones too. So many one of ones. He's going to end up having like thousands of one of ones by the time he's done with his career. And it's like, I have a one of one Shohei. Okay, cool. I do too. Well, so do I. Oh, wow. Which one do you have? It's crazy. But that Mike Trout, I love the look of that Mike Trout, by the way. That's one of the last years where I think Topps gave a shit about the design of their cards and stuff.
Well, I like these years about 2009, 2008 to 2013. There's just not a lot printed. There's just not a lot of different cards. The cards that were printed were not high print run. This card happens to have, I don't understand why the Bowman this has such a less pop count, but sells for far less. 1,300 versus 7,000. But yes, the print runs were far less. There was less parallels. There wasn't a lot of sets printed. I love Curry's in this time frame, 09. I guess Bryce Harper would be in this time frame. Joel Embiid, who cares? Kawhi Leonard. But there's just not a lot of it.
Anthony Davis was in 2012. Yeah. That's somebody that when I was, I'll go even further back in my collecting. That was another person I bought. I think I bought a couple of boxes of Panini back when it was like a thing. And I'm like, what the hell is even this stuff? Like, what's this parallels and this and that? And what's a numbered card? And I pulled an Anthony Davis rookie and I tried looking it up on Beckett. And it's like, yeah, that one right there. I pulled it with the dunk on it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got $100 card. It was like, no, it's not.
Look at this
thing. It needs to be a silver, or it needs to be a parallel, or it needs to be.
In 2020, it was over $3,000. All right. And then 2000 and 2021, the bottom. Okay. Now we're in 20. Okay. Now it falls. It's a $62 card.
I'll buy that in a heartbeat.
$62. It was 2,000. People don't think it's just going to go up forever.
He played at Kentucky. Forever. So he's got a soft spot for me. I'm a Kentuckian. He played at Kentucky. I'll buy that card all day long. I don't care how much it costs or if I get a return on it. I just like to have the card. I have a Dan Issel rookie card and a PSA 7 because he played at Kentucky. So those are the kinds of ways I collect because I have Jamal Mashburn's rookie card autograph. It cost me less than $20. Well, who wants Jamal Mashburn? I do. Jamal Mashburn helped rebuild Kentucky basketball. And he had a really good career, I might add. Kobe said he was one of the better defenders he's ever went against. So that's pretty damn big.
So does Ichiro. Oh, for that, yes. Yeah. Saying that from Kobe, yes.
Yeah.
But so does Ishiro, and Japan is a tiny country. I know they got some money, but Japan is not the biggest country in the world. And in 50 years, that generation's not going to care about these cards. They're not going to. They're not going to. And maybe, okay, who cares about 50 years? But I mean, they're just not this valuable. They're not. There's too many of them. And I know he has some appeal outside of America. And even it's the Japanese Americans here. And Japan loves baseball, but I don't buy that argument. I know he has more. There's more out people. You could say that about many players that are from another country. Okay, that they have.
Here's another card to look at. Bryce Harper's rookie card. You want to talk about some hype? When he come out, him and Steven Strasburg were the two biggest hype people.
Yeah.
When I was coming up in my 30s and stuff, Bryce Harper, Steven Strasburg, just crazy hype. And I thought Strasburg was electric, but I'm like, his arm movement, that's not going to last. And they're going to wear him out because he's on a bad team. And Bryce Harper's going to get sick of the Nationals because they're not going to win when he's there because they can't afford anybody because they're going to try to pay him a big contract. But his stuff would go crazy back, in the days like 2012 through 2016. Then just all of a sudden, he didn't really have a fall off. It's just, okay, that's it. We're on to someone else now.
Yeah, you're right. And Strasburg was really good there for a couple years. He ended up getting hurt, hurting himself. And
right.
But he was really good. And the hype around those two guys, you're right. They were very big. And I thought they semi lived up to some of it. They, not Strasburg, but Harper's been pretty good.
Right. He's not been injured. He's just been consistent. He's not been electric, but he's been consistent and he's clutching the playoffs. But do you think of that as a collectible card? Do you think of that like, okay, I'm going to invest in 10 cards. I want to get me a Bryce Harper rookie card.
Well, when you say invest, do you mean like hold for long term?
Hold it for long term.
It depends the price, I guess. But yeah, at $75, you can't really lose.
But do you see it like gradually going up or do you just see
he's a Hall of Famer. So, or will he make the Hall of Fame?
That's the thing. I think he's a surefire Hall of Famer, but does it hold as much value?
I would assume Bryce Harper is going to be in the Hall of Fame. Bryce Harper stats.
So they said the next candidates for the Hall of Fame, by the way, the only one that stood out that will actually get in, I think, first ballot or close to it's Buster Posey. He's not
King Felix, I hope gets in next year. I don't understand how King Felix isn't in.
And another thing, too, like catchers, they're not collectible either. Buster Posey's one of the better, him and Joe Mauer are probably the better catchers of the modern era. No one ever says, man, I really
the other guy that comes to mind, Molina.
Molina's the same way. Even the Cardinals fans are like, oh, man, I'd love to get me a Yadier Molina rookie card. It's,
No, you're right. Pudge and Piazza, they were probably the best catchers growing up. So Bryce Harper, 363 total home runs, batting average career 280. Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to make 150 stolen bases, but two-time MVP, 8-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year. I would assume he makes the Hall of Fame. So generally these baseball collectors, Hall of Fame is the distinction. If you're in the Hall of Fame, your card tends to trickle up.
It'll trickle up and then it plateaus pretty much because there's nothing any further it can go to unless you have some kind of like legend like the Mickey Mantle card where a lot of them were dumped in the Hudson River, so they're much more valuable when we don't know if that's the case or not. But people seem to believe it and the prices dictate it. The Jordan rookie card is what puzzles me the most. There's so many of them, and yet they are through the roof. You get a PSA 4, you're talking a couple grand.
People talk about, in the past, it's just the same people buying these, even real sales. It just, some people find that Jordan market to be semi-manipulated. I haven't heard that come out in a couple years, but there was a time where people talked about it more. And because you're right, it's kind of weird. I know there's other great players too.
It was the most faked rookie card of all time. The Clear 86 was the most plagiarized card ever. And there's still a lot of them out there. That's why there's people like at card shops that specialize in detecting if a Jordan's fake or not before they buy it. And even the slab ones get past them sometimes. And that's the crazy thing about the Jordan cards and stuff. And then the Star 84 was discovered like, oh my gosh, that's his actual rookie card. Well, I mean, it was a team set. It wasn't widely released. You could buy them in Chicago, but it's like, it's just crazy how the hobby is. And when it's in an upturn, the hobby does weird shit. And all of a sudden the cards you thought were like not that expensive, all of a sudden now it's like a Griffey. Why the hell the Griffey $5,000? It's got, like I
thought
said,
we made a good case tonight. I thought
they're
we
still
did a good-
printing it. They're still printing it today.
Charles, but what I like about this kind of flow of the show or this type of show, it's just more chill. We're able to, I'm going to go react to we'll watch some content together, but we were able to just chat and talk. And that was, yeah, I think that was, so it's kind of nice. It's slower and more relaxed. And I like looking at the charts as well. So yeah, thanks for the feedback and great call.
Anytime, Professor.
Hell yes. All right, Charles. Have a great night. Yeah, great call from Charles. It was really nice just talking bullshit. And I do want to watch a little content with you guys. I have a few things we'll watch together. I don't want this to be 2 hours. I didn't even think it'd be an hour, but here we are at 50 minutes. So it was a great talking with Charles. And this is supposed to be what this Wemby dunk is unfair. I have not seen it yet from yesterday. Capella had
make him prove that he can make that shot.
Capella will give the big man the opportunity. And Wembanyama, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, you could only compare that. Kareem didn't do that kind of stuff really, but yeah, that's a Kareem thing right there. That's the only, when I saw that, it's the only other player that's ever reminded me of, and he's even taller than Kareem. But yeah, that was a nice, too easy. Capella's a big guy. This is the video I've been wanting to watch. It's King Trout. He does not make card content. He has 170,000 subscribers, credit scores. He only makes a video every so often. He's talking about One Nation Under Corn, why Dollar General is spreading like a virus. This video got over 113,000 views. Maybe you've seen it. Wilt was great. And Orlando knows better because I didn't really get to see Kareem or Wilt play. And I'm not sure. Let's see. Orlando definitely saw Kareem. I'm not sure how much of Wilt he would have saw play. Probably not a ton, maybe some, not the whole career. Anyways, that's a little. I do want to watch that video. That's the whole reason I wanted to come live tonight. I also just maybe look here from. I don't want to watch any of these. Nope. Okay. Exit that. Exit that. Exit that. We looked at Bryce Harper. Yeah, I guess. A few people sent me these videos. I've not watched these yet. Someone sent me this, so let's take a look. A conversation at Tops based on a true story. I think I've seen this guy's content. He's pretty funny. Let's see.
Oh, hey, you said you had some new product ideas for us? Yeah, I did. You know that Montgomery Club that we've had for a long time? Ooh, you gonna do something new with Montgomery Club? Kind of. Let's get rid of it. Come again? Just get rid of the Montgomery Club. A lot of the members of that seem to really like it. Why are we getting rid of it?
Okay, you guys are really sorry to pause, but you guys are listening to these big guys. Manute Bol couldn't dunk like that, get around a guy. Yao Ming was great. He wasn't agile like that with Wemby, where you're just douche with the douche. The only other guy, maybe I guess Wilt, but Kareem had that long wingspan. He would go up, just whoosh. These other guys you're mentioning, they could. Yeah, they're big, tall dudes. They couldn't do what Wemby just did. They didn't. These guys didn't do what Wemby just did. Yeah, it was great. One year at Summer League, I go to Summer League every year. I look behind me. I mean, just at the UNLV gym, at the Thomas and Mack Center. So what do you want to call it? The suite? It's not a suite. It's just open. I look down there's big ass Yao Ming right there. I think he's the president of basketball in China. But that was pretty cool to see Yao Ming right behind me. Yeah, Yao Ming was great. Not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar though.
It seems like we could do other things with those products. Okay, but it's one of the few ways that people who really enjoy our products can actually get a chance at getting those products to open them at home at an MSRP price. Oh.
The Montgomery Club, which they just canceled, I believe. Yeah. It was a way you sign up. You got certain deals, access before others. You get guaranteed you some product, and they just canceled it.
I didn't think of it like that. Oh, good. Well, send them an email and give them another chance at one final product. I don't know, some new Topps basketball product? So with all this extra product, what should we do with it? Divvy them up and send them to one of Tom Brady's new 21 shops. I thought there were only 7 of those? For now. That makes sense. Oh, and before I forget, here's a list. What's this? Those are some hobby shops we're just going to remove allocation from.
I know.
Why? There's more Tom Brady, that's why. Yeah, Tom Brady.
Okay.
Hey.
I like the ending a lot. The one thing I'd say to Charles is, Wemby hasn't won any rings, and neither did Yao Ming. So you didn't have to shoot a 3. If Kareem played in 2026 and grew up in 2010, the guy would know how to shoot a 3. Wilt Chamberlain was a 4-time athlete in college, pole vaulter. I think he ran away volleyball, basketball. So you better believe that he was probably athletic enough. I'm not no hate on Charles, love Charles, but I would make the argument that sure, if they were playing in 2026, they were both top-notch basketball players, they'd have a shot. And the other thing Wemby has to catch up is Kareem has 6 NBA championships. Wilt has 2. It might be 1. Maybe just 1. For some reason it says 2 in my head, but I think he just won 1 with the Lakers. Anyways, Wemby needs a title. Yao Ming didn't get a title. And no one gave any love to Shaq. If you guys want to bring someone up, Shaq Olajuwon are probably the 2 best centers I've ever watched play. I don't think it's close. Who am I missing there? Joker. Joker is definitely up in that. He surpassed some of these other centers I've watched play. Lonzo Mourning, David Robinson was really good as of late. Dwight Howard had a few peak years, but hey now, we're still live. We're still live. Holy shit. I don't know. I hit a mouse button and I was gone. I don't know what the hell happened, but we're still here. All right, so that was that video. That was good. A couple more. If this was if you have not seen, even if you have seen this video that King Trout is not a card guy that made on this, you could just replace Pokemon with sports cards. It all fits in. I have not watched these 2 videos yet. No, this one I have. This one I've seen. It was at 10 seconds. Worth watching.
I have a shop in F1A. So when I landed my spot,
Right here.
Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of this show! Get the fuck out of this show!
Oh, we gotta watch that again because I've never seen the beginning. Like I never watched just them to see what led to it. Yeah, but Dr. J wasn't the beginning. I want to tell us to the beginning again.
I have a shop in F1A. So when I landed my
Oh, this guy's pissed right here. You want me to make a scene right now? He will.
Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of this show! Get the fuck out of this show, you piece of shit!
All the time. People are card shop break-ins, Pokemon theft all the time. It's happening with sports cards. Try easy money. Easy money. It's easy money. What does everyone care? It's easy money. Let's just take them instead. I have not watched this video, and then we'll do the video I want to watch, and then we're out of here. Hey, 90 people in here on a Thursday, random. Good to see a lot of you. Greek Okie, KK, Rick, Collector Charles called in, Orlando, Petty was here for a minute, Penny Sleeve, Steve, Stone, Collector, Mike Sherman. I don't know if I've seen Mike before. Good to see you, Mike. Bargain Boxer becoming a regular again. Good. Hey, Bargain Boxer, I hope you're doing well. Hey, Sportsman Dan is here. So, okay, let's see what we got.
As Gabe has ripped a whole case of Donner's blasters, and this is the last one, so that means there's got to be a downtown in here, right?
Right, gotta have a downtown in this.
Hold on, let me just give my 2 cents because I'm a basketball nerd. Bargain Boxer's been saying Cooper Flagg's Keith Horn. No, Keith Van Horn is not Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg, I don't agree with that at all. Just from watching Cooper Flagg live at Summer League, I could tell right then and there, this dude has a huge chip on his shoulder. Cooper Flagg is already putting up better numbers than Keith Van Horn probably did in his prime. I don't think Cooper Flagg is someone you're going to buy and he's going to go up in price in sports cards. I think it's going to take a while. But just like when Cade Cunningham came in, people kind of wrote him off. People, oh, he's not as good as we thought. And here we are after 3 or 4 years, and he's running it with Detroit. Cooper Flagg has that ability. He wants it. He's not 80% of the guys in the league love the fame it gives them, like Zion and Ja. Right? That's not Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg wants it. He has this nasty chip on his shoulder. Same with a few other guys in the league, but Flag's one of them. So Cooper Flag, I'm not saying go out and buy his sports cards. I'm not saying he's going to turn his cards are going to double next week or next month or even next year. I think calling him Keith Van Horn or even Christian Laettner. The guy played 1 season at Duke. I'm pretty sure Christian Laettner played 4, at least 3. He's 19 years old. He played with the Olympic team and crushed. He's now in the NBA and performing well. So to call it, he's already put up more nice dunks than either of these guys ever did in their playing career. So, I'm not saying buy the hype on his cards. To call him those two players, you guys are just hating. He's not that. All right. Anyways. What do we got? The whole case of downtown last week. Downtown. We're down in the
Action All Pros for
You're not a downtown.
No, it's not a downtown.
The whole case, no downtown. It's supposed to be a downtown case.
The GOAT.
Where's Kiddo?
Scatterbo.
That might pay for the case.
That might pay for the case. Now in the last couple packs, guess what? I bet you it's not coming.
That's something.
Oh, yeah.
Jalen.
Nope.
3 packs. No, 2 packs. I heard from Panini.
They're in every case, right? Oh, is that it?
They're in every case, not this one. And Panini's doesn't. What do they care anymore? What year is this? I would assume this year.
It's got to be.
Base.
I trust it. You're in here.
Base.
You're in here.
Shamar Stewart.
Last pack. Is it last pack magic?
Oh.
No soup for you. Waste.
That's a whole case. Whole case.
I got.
That hurts. That stings. All right. This guy did such a good job. I mean, he does it for, he gets, 226,000 views. The CIA secret manual to suck at your job. The true story of Bonnie and Clyde. The high fructose corn syrup conspiracy. So, the guy does, this is what he does. He does real good. And he just better than any card person I've ever heard. Probably better than myself. He wraps it up so well. So let's just watch.
As I speak at the time of recording, Paul is selling a Pokemon card. The current bid is just over $6 million. So once the sale finalizes, it will be the most expensive Pokemon card ever sold. Why is a piece of cardstock with a picture of Pikachu on it worth $6 million? Well, because a grading company said it is. Welcome to the grading cartel. Today, we're talking about how companies like...
I want to hear him. Let's hear him. Let's hear this non-card guy, non-hobby guy, how he sees it from the outside. Let's hear it one more time.
Pikachu on it worth $6 million? Well, because a grading company said it is. Welcome to the grading cartel.
Hey now.
Today, we're talking about how companies like PSA, CGC, and Beckett turned your childhood nostalgia into a derivatives market and then sold it to Wall Street. I'm King Trout. And there are some big old women down in San Antonio. Grading services didn't start as a scam.
Insert Charles Barkley.
They started as a solution. In the 1980s, the sports card market was plagued by trimming, which is when you cut the edges of a card to make it look cleaner, reprints, forgeries, faked autographs. Nobody trusted anybody, and every trade was essentially a gamble. So in 1991, PSA, which stands for Professional Sports Authenticator, was founded by David Hall, a man who had co-founded the Professional Coin Grading Service. They were a third-party neutral judge, a service that existed to say, this card's real, this card's clean, this card's worth X dollars. But the moment PSA became trusted, they became powerful, because whoever defines condition defines price, and whoever defines price controls the market. Before grading, collectors used binders or friggin' shoeboxes. After grading, they started using safety deposit boxes. Cards, as well as other collectible items, receive a score between 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, and placed into a sealed plastic container, which is called a slab.
That's how he made it sound so trivial. Into a plastic container. That's kind of what it is, but that's hilarious.
Placed into a sealed plastic container, which is called a slab. These so-called slabs instantly turn the collectible, usually a trading card, into stores of value, assets, collateral. Banks started offering loans backed by these graded cards, auction houses began securitizing their collections. Investors stopped buying stocks and started buying cards that are part of a children's game from Japan. The collecting aspect died and financialization took over. That holographic Gyarados, well, it used to make you the coolest kid in your kindergarten class, but now it's a line item on a balance sheet. The biggest portion of grading that no one likes to talk about is that grading is not objective. It's about lighting, it's about angle.
Bingo. I mean, that's yes, thank you. And it's so dumb. People are putting so much money into, because PSA says so. Sportsman Dan, you've actually found your match here. Yes, I do like the top-loaded binders. I do. I don't own a graded one. I might even like that as well, but I do have a couple of the top-loaded binders, and yep, I absolutely like them a lot. Because normally you just put your top-loaded cards into a box and never see them, but putting them into a binder, yeah, I do like it. I enjoy having the top-loaded binders.
It's about how well you manscaped. Or wait, no, that's dick pics. It's about lighting, it's about angle, it's about whether or not the grader had a good morning that day. Studies and collectors have found that simply resubmitting a card will result in a different grade 30% of the time. There's nothing objective about it. It's purely vibes-based, baby. And since there is no intrinsic value in a trading card, an entire multi-million-dollar market is completely subjected to a few guys' vibes. The Wisconsin boys over at Red Letter Media actually made a great video exposing this truth a few years ago when they sent in their case, VHS tapes multiple times to receive different grades despite their rarity or perceived value.
All right, Rich, the experiment begins.
It was at this point that collectors realized the horrifying truth that since these grades are so subjective, you could simply resubmit. They started doing what was called cracking the slabs, just breaking open the hunk of plastic and resending whatever collectible item back in over and over and over and over again until it gets that highly sought after PSA 10.
And I don't know this, but I'm the only person ever saying it, and I got it from a viewer, and I think he's dead right. He led me down this. I believe, and I'm one guy, I have no proof of this, that PSA knows every card that comes in there. It's 2026. People are talking about AI in the chat. Everybody's using AI. This guy's using AI, and so is Fox, and so is CNN, and so is Donald Trump, and so is Joe Biden. Everybody in 2026. So are all their underlings. Everybody's using AI. But in 2026, they know every card, I believe, because they even said it. And when they bought Geniment, they said they have this 70-point fingerprint. So, you know, however, I don't have the terminology in front of me, that they could know every card. They could track every, and if they're saying this 5 years ago, I've already mentioned this on live, AI's only got nothing but better. So as he's saying the recrack, I believe that's semi a business model. They don't want to end the recrack. They don't want to solve that problem. They want you to keep coming back, and they're not consistent with grading. Why? Because they want, even if they are using AI, people are like, okay, the AI is bad. Oh, maybe the AI is set up to not be perfect, or maybe the AI is overstressed. And I'm speculating here, but it's 2026. We're foolish to think at the number of amount of cards they're doing, the fact that they're a 24/7 operation, never sleep, of course. And I also think in 2026 they do know every card, and when it comes in a 6, and then they give it an 8, and then they give it a 5, and then they give it your 9, and then they never see it again. But that's just what I think, and I do believe the recracking and grading, the regrading, they need it to survive. They can solve that problem, in my opinion. Maybe the technology's not there yet, but they were saying the technology was there in 2021/2022. Why wouldn't it be there today in 2026? They're just not something they want you to know, or it's not something they want to talk about, because they don't want you to know they know every card, because they want people to keep resubmitting, because it helps their overall. What percentage of cards are regraded? 20%, 30%, 10%? Maybe we actually don't know, because they say they can't track it, so we don't know. But it's probably a large amount of their business in grading.
There are entire businesses that now exist to simply resubmit cards, farming for that mint 10 rating. A financial market that functions in a very similar way to a slot machine. When hit, Pokemon nostalgia exploded, as did the card market around it. And PSA became the choke point for what a few months ago I called a multi-million-dollar business. That is horribly incorrect. It's a $1 trillion business. And PSA was the bottleneck. So they did what every monopoly does. They jacked up prices. Not to increase the quality or speed at which they were grading these cards, but just because they could. Some of the grading tiers jumped from $10 to $1,000. At this point in time, CGC and Beckett came along to provide the illusion of competition. CGC promised more transparency and Beckett offered more tiered rating levels. But the market didn't care because liquidity beats accuracy. PSA slabs sold faster, so people wanted their cards to be rated by PSA.
That's interesting. That's something I want to hear him say it again. That's something I haven't heard anyone say. I want to hear that again.
Transparency, and Beckett does. They jacked up prices. Not to increase the quality or speed at which they were grading these cards, but just because they could. Some of the grading tiers jumped from $10 to $1,000. At this point in time, CGC and Beckett came along to provide the illusion of competition. CGC promised more transparency and Beckett offered more tiered rating levels. But the market didn't care because liquidity beats accuracy. PSA
liquidity beats accuracy. So people wanted the money, and PSA was selling for more. So even though it wasn't as accurate or accurate enough, people didn't care because you're making money.
Slabs sold faster, so people wanted their cards to be rated by PSA. CGC kind of fell into second place, and Beckett essentially dissolved into obscurity. As such, the grading cartel stayed intact. Grading companies know which cards are rare, which grades are about to spike, and which markets are overheating, while the collectors do not. It's asymmetrical information. It's essentially Wall Street insider trading, but with little pieces of Japanese card stock.
Preach, man. I mean, and this guy, not a card guy, just a journalism type stuff, gets a lot of views, and he just laid it out so well to, the average person that doesn't know cards is like, oh yeah, this is what it is. Yeah, this guy nails it.
But don't worry, it gets worse and shadier. Once grading turned cards into certified assets, they became portable wealth. They're easier to move than a Picasso, they're quicker to sell than a house, and they're easier to hide than cash. So, vault companies appeared. PWCC Vault, PSA Vault, Golden Vault, eBay Vault. You don't even physically hold on to your card. They do. The financialization of trading cards becomes even more abstracted when you don't even physically hold the item that has value. It's just a number on a dashboard, similar to a bank account. But in this case, there is no FDIC. Then they took this abstraction one step farther and broke these cards into shares. Now one PSA 10 Charizard becomes 10,000 digital pieces. Now hedge funds can trade Pokemon cards like stocks. You don't own a card, you own a fraction of a slab that's sitting in a vault that you will literally never see. That's not collecting, that's just derivatives. Also, the grading system for especially Pokemon cards makes money laundering very easy. You just buy a graded card with your dirty money, put it in a vault, and then digitally transfer ownership to either a shell company or another entity, have them sell it, and now it's just profits on a collectible.
Hey now!
An anonymous member of a Japanese crime syndicate stepped forward in 2024 and said that Japanese crime families were laundering millions of dollars through the purchase. And
so let's wait for that story. We're going to wait for, I wonder who's going to be attached to that story. I'm not going to speculate. You already know the names in my head, but who's going to be attached to the American crime syndicate reportedly laundering money using Pokemon sports cards?
Sale of Pokemon cards. Whether or not this is true, I don't know, but it seems like a very, very easy way to launder money, especially when you factor in the wishy-washy value determination of collectible items like that. You could buy a card that is valued at $250 and then turn around and sell it once it's been graded for $2,500. Where did that value come from? Again, some guy decided that's what it's worth.
Making 20
Logan
bucks.
Paul's infamous Pikachu Illustrator card pretty much perfectly exemplifies everything.
Off center. Everyone knows it's off center. Every Pokemon collector knows it's off center. The card's off center. It's supposed to be a 9 and they gave it a 10.
It's broken in the modern collectibles market. It was a financial spectacle engineered for maximum hype, clout, and price manipulation. When Paul purchased the card in 2021 for an alleged $5.275 million, it had a marked change on the perceived value of Pokemon cards across the entire market. Overnight, the perceived value of all Pokemon cards instantly increased. Did they become more rare or intrinsically more valuable overnight? No, just the narrative changed. If he could buy one for over $5 million, who knows what you have sitting in your parents' attic? Listen, there is a reason he wore it as a necklace. And there will be another spike like that around the time this video is released. Again, at the time of recording, it is currently at auction with the bid at $6 million. Again, making it the most expensive Pokemon card ever sold. There will be a bump because of this. What about controversies surrounding those who sell these cards? Well, in 2021, PWCC, a fairly large auction house, was caught shill bidding its own auctions and in turn was kicked from eBay. They inflated prices, which inflated vault inventory, which inflated the value of those fractional shares. That's not card collecting. That's called market manipulation.
And, you know, that's when you get me or Petty or
That's
whatever.
called market manipulation.
When you get us all heated and pissed, and that's it. You guys have turned it from a hobby into something that's not a hobby. You can't call it a hobby. You guys all see it as dollar signs. It's a way to get money. It's not a, and as he's putting it, and some of these other guys in sports cards, it's called market manipulation. And often some of these guys using emotional manipulation do this. Pump and dump schemes, yada, yada. That's what it says here at least. But it is market manipulation. And I would say Shine and Kevin O'Leary are right at the top of the list there. I can't prove it, but based off what I've seen, they're right on top of the list when it comes to sports cards and market manipulation. Logan Paul is right attached to his tag team partner, Ken Mother Golden. So, you know, it's all over the place. Ken Golden doesn't care about sports cards as much as he cares about the greed, his face out there and just making money, because this isn't a sports card he's selling. It's a $6 million Pokemon card that has a lot of controversy around it. But as long as he could get his face and name out there with Logan Paul, who cares?
PWCC was purchased in 2023 by a larger auction house called Fanatics Collect. In April of 2025, card company Alt filed a lawsuit in the New York State Supreme Court alleging that PWCC had orchestrated a large-scale shill bidding operation between the years of 2021 and 2023. This case is still in court, but in the meantime, there is good news. Fanatics Collect launched an internal investigation to check and see whether their employees had orchestrated the shill bidding operation and found themselves guilty of no wrongdoing. Thank God. Here's the thing. Your card's value only exists if PSA exists, eBay honors it, and other collectors choose to believe it. If and when prices fall, these vaults will liquidate, fractional owners will get entirely wiped out, slabs will flood the market. This whole Pokemon card thing,
sports card thing,
smells a whole lot like the housing market in about 2007. Is the Pokemon collectibles market riding a bubble that's going to burst and look like the 2008 financial crisis, but with Pikachu? No, of course not. I'm sure they're going to infinitely increase in value until the end of time. Everything's fine. Am I telling you not to purchase or invest in Pokemon cards? I could not give less of a fuck what you do with your money. Do I personally believe that the Pokemon trading card market is functioning in essentially exactly the same way as the NFT market did a few years ago? Yes. Yes, 1,000 times yes. Do I think it's riding a bubble that will eventually pop? Again, 1,000 times yes. When that bubble will pop, I have no idea. But again, the value of these cards is not based on anything intrinsic. It's just the speculation of these
the hype machine, the corporate machine
that have a vested interest in their value increasing because they
nailed it
money off of it. But all in all, it's not going to last forever. All of that being said, am I an economist? No, absolutely not. Pretty far from, as a matter of fact. Will you catch me investing a single penny of my money on Pokemon cards? Absolutely not. I prefer to make my money the old-fashioned way, by the sweat of my brow. Sitting down, recording YouTube videos, taking my earnings to Vegas, betting all of them on black, and instantly doubling the amount of money that I have in my possession. So far, it's worked out okay. This is my full-time job.
All right. So, well,
Grading companies don't protect collectors. No, they captured them. They turn nostalgia into leverage, and they turn cardboard into an unregulated shadow stock market. Invest your money how you like. They captured them. They turn collectors. No. So far, it's worked out okay.
I got to
This
hear
is my
this one more
full-time
time.
job.
This was
Grading companies don't protect collectors. No, they captured them. They turn nostalgia into leverage, and they turn cardboard into an unregulated shadow stock market. Invest your money how you like. I'm sure that
great video by this guy, King Trout, who's not a card guy. This got over 113,000 views. And the poker, hey, you want to see Logan Paul, Ken Golden. You just go, everyone's making videos, not even like this guy Cavos Logan Paul video. I bet he's not a Pokemon guy. Maybe I'm wrong, but everyone's making Logan Paul stuff right now. I think that's about it. We're hour 20. That's kind of what I hadn't wanted to do. I really wanted to watch that video. We looked at some charts, which was fun. We got a good call from Collector Charles. Always fun hanging out. There's not much else. We're very close to 8,000 subscribers. I said this at the beginning of the show. I'm saying it at the end. The show is better with voicemails. I'm sitting here doing my thing. I put in there. The show's better with voice, but that only matters if you leave voicemails. It only works with someone calling in. So 702-483-7344. We'll do them on Tuesday. Give us a rant, 30 seconds, 60 seconds worth of voicemails. Time did fly. It's over an hour, 20 minutes. And it felt like I've been sitting down here for 10 minutes. If I hadn't, we can, I enjoy this so much. It's just so fun hanging. Let's look at, and let's just scroll Instagram real quick, see if there's anything interesting. For some reason, my coworker, he's Filipino. And so something in my feed popped up Filipino. And so I sent it to him as a joke. And now fucking Instagram, my feed the past 24 hours has been two things. Sports cards, of course. That's all I ever click. And now they think I want to see all this Filipino stuff, which is hilarious. Here's more shilling by Golden. How much they're every day, 10 times a day. There needs to be a picture, a photo, a story, something big. They have this illustrator card comparing it to Muhammad Ali, the greatest. Fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee, rumble, young man, rumble. The man. You ain't got shit. Neither of these men have shit in Muhammad Ali. Nothing. He wouldn't give two shits about this. One Piece is the #1 fastest growing trading card. Yeah, I saw that coming a little earlier than most. Anything interesting? What is this? Held a voodoo ceremony today. Hopefully my sacrifice is valuable enough for the football. Go Bills. And he burned a Drake May card. This is AI. We'll finish with Charles. Charles, how we doing?
So check your DMs. I just sent you something about Shine and Mr. Wonderful were on Fox and Friends this morning.
Hey now.
So I'll lead you with that tease. Check your DMs. The video should be in there, or a link to it anyway.
Yep, it's here.
All right,
I'll click now. Hey, thanks, Charles. Bye. I'm put it up right now, and then we'll end here. So good. All right. That's not a video though. What he sent me? Hold on. Oh, here it is. No, it's not something. It's sending me to this. I'll show you. Maybe I can find it from here. It's sending me to this when I click the link. Oh, here we go. Okay.
$30 million.
Wait, that card?
25 to 30 million. Yeah.
It's rain.
Kevin O'Leary thinks it's such a flat $30 million in my jacket and underwear because he normally doesn't wear pants when he goes live.
I know, but listen, our plan here is to collect these. We have many more cards like this. The point is that
your plan is to shill them. It's not a collect anymore. It's do you collect stocks? No, you purchase stocks. You hoard stocks. I don't know. You don't really collect. Do you mention collect stocks? No, you're not collecting these.
we think in a decade from now, this will be worth even more.
You got one more.
This is the dual logo, man. This is the most famous card out there because we bought it for $12.93 million in August. It's now worth almost 17.
He even giggled when they said it. He had to giggle. He couldn't just keep a straight face after all that. He giggled. Professor Quiet on Simon 466 calling out Ryan Hoge and his BS. I think I went to watch that video, but it was so long and he took so long to get to the point. Maybe he made a new one. I think we did watch that video.
To $20 million.
You just showed me $50 million worth of cards?
And you hear that guy, he's like, his expression says it all. It's unbelievable. This isn't believable. It's not real. Yes, he's right. He's right to have that expression.
$0 We've got some Brinks guys behind with sunglasses on. They're going to take these away. This is the triple logo, man. This is probably the most coveted card on earth, worth around $30 million.
Wait, that card?
25 to 30 million. Yeah.
It's raining here.
I know, but this is, listen, our plan here is to collect these. We have many more cards like this. The point is that we think in a...
Hey, here's generally the balls it takes to make that claim without shame. Such a noob thing to say. No way. The king of funny money here in the space right now. All my Bob Cousy autographs are worth $20 million because I said so. Thank you for your time. He's shilling live. Excited for the comment section. And I identify as the Easter Bunny. Amazing how he just says it is so people believe him. You know what? That Josh Rosen out of 299 rookie's worth $5 million. See how that works. People are onto this. I say so it must be true. Collect Media this is from too. Best I can do is 200. Every comment. Yeah, I like to believe all my cards are worth more than they actually are too. Every comment. He isn't lying because other elite collectors are watching them buy up all the most valuable cards on earth, making buying on from them even more valuable and hard to acquire. What they're doing is genius. That they are taking a huge risk in assuming that these cards are worth that much. Many people don't find it genius and they find it shilling and not organic or genuine. Charles, thank you for sharing this. Is there any more on that?
A decade from now, this will be worth even more.
You go.
Of course. Is this the same thing?
This is the triple logo.
All right. That was a good thing. What do we got here? GameStop. Hey, we're taking away pre-orders, so people have to come into store on release day to buy Pokemon TCG. Who the hell cares? First time, I told you, Filipino-American brothers share the NBA court. This is probably AI, I would assume. Derek Carr says the Raiders should not draft. Fuck you, Derek Carr. Derek Carr, suck it. You think the Raider fans, there's this weird group of Raider fans that really love Derek Carr. Not me. Not me. You had some talent. You had a lot of talent. Then you broke your back. Then you hurt your arm or leg. It doesn't matter. It was when he hurt his back he never came back the same. He just wasn't the same guy. And I don't give a shit what you think. I want to take a quarterback. Wait, we're going to like him more than we like you? Comic-Con bans AI-generated art form in 2026 art show amid artist backlash. Hardcore collector, how we doing?
Good. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing pretty well.
Had to use my phone because I'm having issues on my computer. So,
what do you got?
All right. I kind of wanted to finish up from the other day, if you don't mind, but I'll make it pretty quick here.
Yeah,
so
sure. Go ahead.
About the shill we or whatever. So we were talking about like commercials. I was talking about box prices. One quick note I want to add. Someone had said something like, and I agree with this to some degree, but like, one of my things I was saying is like, we don't know what breakers pay for a box of cards and they're reselling them for. And so someone had mentioned like, you don't know what, a cost of bananas is for, if you go to the grocery store, which is true. But where I would like beg to differ, how the sports card market has changed in a lot of this is like,
and no one's shilling bananas. Come on. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Right. Well, that's exactly where I was going to go with it is, like Neo tried to buy, a box of cards recently, and he like had a checkout, and he gets put on like a wait list, and he's not buying like a case of cards, dude. He was just trying to get like 1 or 2 boxes of, cards recently, and then he ended up not being able to hit, even buy a box as soon as it's released. So like, imagine if, bananas got released and you had like 2 minutes to hit checkout, or if you don't, if you don't make the checkout.
The rush. They've created this rush.
Yeah, it's like a 30 to 50% hike you'd have to pay for those bananas or anything. Imagine if everything we buy was in that market. And then if you're talking about like Jeff and he's like, yeah, stuff's too expensive, but at least you have breakers. Imagine if you go to buy a thing of bananas and someone's yelling in your ear about how much they paid for he's like, these bananas should be selling for $20 a bundle. Like, no, dude, like
I just bought it for $6, get it for $7. I bought it for $6, get it for $7. It's going hot.
Right. So anyways, that was kind of something funny that I thought, and like, I get it. Like most of us, we don't know what people pay for it, but with card collecting, it is a little bit different, dude, because it's like, if you don't buy it now, then the upcharge to buy a box later on is going to be, it could be 30 to 50. It could be like almost double what you could have bought it for, you know? And these are just regular, a lot of these are regular collectors, not just people that want to buy a box and flip it and stuff. So to me, when we're talking about some of this, I think we have to have like a fair analysis of what's actually happening, you know? And so to me, that's frustrating for the every like day collector. And so I like I said before, like I do agree with the shilling, but I do think there's also, you know, I think commercials is a form of shilling, you know, and this is where I'll probably differ from you in my opinion. And it doesn't mean I agree with it. It just means like it is what it is or whatever. So like some of these guys, like they're talking about their sponsors, and I'm like, well, if they're at least openly saying they're sponsored by this person or whatever, isn't that really the same thing as a commercial?
Because here's what you're comparing it to advertising. I'm going to compare it to, you go to a car sales lot and there's a bunch of car salesmen telling you how it's the best car and this is the car you need and this is the car for you. So I don't look at it as a McDonald's ad or Chrysler ad. I look at it as a grift. It's what when Don West came on in the 90s, you didn't look at that the same as an advertisement, but he was pumping the product. He was trying to tell you it was bigger and better than. So maybe our definitions of maybe we're taking shilling a different way, but when I look at it, it's pumping up something. It's building up. The reason Pepsi and Coke and McDonald's, as Jeremy Lee mentioned, you've already made your choice. That's just to keep it in your brain. That's just like, oh, a Coke sounds good right now. It's not to sell you a $10,000 card. It's just advertising, is a lot of it is just to remind you their brand's already out there. You already know what Pepsi is. You already know, but it's reminding you that, oh, McDonald's sounds good right now, or oh, I like McDonald's. McDonald's tastes good. So you already made your choice on McDonald's, but in this situation, they're pumping this product like it's bigger than, it's better than, you have to. And I just find that different than an advertise. I see what you're saying. They're both pushing a product, but advertising is to keep your mind front of, this is pumping a product to make it seem like it's going to the moon.
Right. Well, I mean, like if you look at like drug commercials and they're frolicking on the beach,
can't stand.
Like,
don't even. I have to.
It's similar.
I have an equal, especially as a guy that had ulcerative colitis, got his colon removed, wore an ileostomy bag. I don't want. That is such negative. I find here that only 2 countries in the whole world have those health commercials. Us in New Zealand. Europeans come over and they laugh at them. But that negative, the whole health system is complete corrupt. And so I believe some of those commercials, like they're so they have to tell you every negative side effect, but it gets into your brain. Ooh, maybe I have a problem. Maybe there's a problem. Maybe I'm not good. I really feel like those pharmaceutical commercials are the biggest bullshit of all time. I can't stand them. And so fine, but yes, they're also equally terrible. You pointed to one, sure, but that's different than a car commercial or a Pepsi commercial.
Okay, fair enough. But, you know, I think a lot of commercials, they're always going to show the brighter side of stuff, you know, no matter if, you know, but like advertising versus shilling, I do see what you're saying. Like pumping up cards is a little bit different than an actual like commercial.
Like how about just what's on the screen right now? This card does this all the time. It went from 850 to 5,000. You know, that's like, it's pumping the product.
Well, and this is where I said
to make it look so big and good.
This is where I say I feel like everybody has an agenda, and it's usually like financially based. Like,
yeah, no, you're right about that. That I agree.
So, like, you know, here's the thing: if you have like an '86 Fleer Jordan, yeah, you're gonna be like, Jordan's the best, and like, you know, and dude, like, you know, like I like some vintage.
But you don't have to be making content like that. People do own cards that make content. And they don't sit there and say, "Oh, Cal Ripken's a must buy. You got to go get every Cal Ripken rookie card. He's the Iron Man." You know, like there's you know, I'm talking about Chris Sewell here, but there's others. You don't have to say Cajun Cardboard is the Jordan guy. He owns all the Jordan, and when he comes on, he only talks about Jordan, like you're saying. And yes, he does that, but you don't have to.
Right. But this is part of the education piece that I think, like, you know, that you were going over at the beginning, which I thought was a good thing. You know, I mean, I have a little bit different opinion, but like on some of it, but
most people do.
I think, you know, we put out the data for people, look at the pop counts, you know, is there value in it or not? And like, let people make their own decisions, but also trying to warn them, you know, of, you know, the risks, or like, if you buy it because you like it and understand it can go down. But like the same thing, you know, I'll veer off path for it real quick, but like, you know, could cards come down, or are they probably going to come down? Possibly. But so can stocks,
Yes.
dude. Like stock market crash. You know how many people lost their
Yes,
tail
but
in
here, okay,
2008?
this is so, I know people are so crazy here. The stock market, of course, it's going to come down at some point. But you know what it's done in over 100, 200, 300 years of history? It's only popped back up and made you more. Cards are in this little bubble here where they don't have that history behind it. You know,
Some of those
they
people,
don't
okay.
have
But with the stock market, when 2008 happened, that wasn't like a next year thing. Some of those people had to wait 4, 5, 6 years.
So be
dude,
it. But I don't think that bounce back is coming
even.
back for cards. If you kept your money in the stock market, you just made your money back after waiting. And you're right, not everyone could wait. But
I'm not saying buy
cards are not
cards.
the other thing I want to say, because those are actual companies. They employ people. They're real companies. Some of them benefit all of our lives.
And they go
then
bankrupt.
You're comparing
Hold on.
that to a fucking manufactured card by Tops.
And they go bankrupt, and if they go bankrupt, you lose all your money you had in that stock.
I don't know what they're real. My point is you're investing in someone that does something. It's a company. This you're investing in speculation of a something that was manufactured by Tops and printed. One is a real company. Fine, they go, but you know how rare that is. It's very rare you invest in a company and you go unless you're playing penny stocks. Do your homework. If you bought GE, you've done very well with General Electric over the years. You've done if Ford and Disney don't make you a lot of money, but they haven't lost you a lot of money either. You know, these are Disney is a real company with its amusement parks. They make movies, and to compare that to a one-of-one manufactured card by Tops is insane to me.
I'm not. You make some good points. I'm not exactly disagreeing. I'm just saying, like, stuff goes up, stuff goes down. If stocks go down, it's like you buy when things go down. If cards go down, that's when you look for.
Don't buy them when they go down. They're gonna keep. Yes, that's a better time than now.
I'm saying, like, if it's someone like you want a Bo Jackson rookie, like you're looking at, or Barry Bonds, that might be a good time to go do a buying opportunity. That's all I'm saying. But like this is where education and people have to do their own, research. The one thing last point I wanted to make is this, and where I'm probably going to differ from you. So I asked you like a while back about like where you think the future of the market goes, and there's kind of two things that I had with it. One was like, Fanatics, are they going to push people out of or push them to their platform, Fanatics Live, and we kind of see that looks like they might be making some steps towards that. And then
100%.
And then the other thing is like, where do you see the market? And like you probably think it's going to crash. And it's not that I don't care if the market goes up or down with cards, to be honest. I'm going to keep because I'm a collector. I'm not a flipper, right? So I'm going to keep collecting. If it goes down, I'm going to look for stuff that I want to buy, like
of course,
a better buying opportunity for guys like me. So,
but you're not also going to buy with the thought that it's going to 10x. You're going to buy happy that you can have it now.
Right, exactly. So, but like, like when I think of Fanatics and they're going to grow the market by 10%, are we in a bubble tentatively? Yeah, we are. But where I probably differ from you and other people is I don't think they can let the bubble collapse, bro. Like they have to.
Whoa, they're working very hard right now to keep it turning. Yes.
When they get the football, license coming up here in 4 months, they need people excited to buy into that product. They can't.
I just showed you an Anthony Davis that was over $2,000. That's now $60. And there's nothing telling me that, Anthony Davis $60 card is going to pop back up to $2,000. It's never happening. We looked at a $96,000 Stephen Castle right now, or Stephen Castle. Very good player. That card has no business being $96,000. So when you say crash, yeah, the Joe Montana PSA 10 rookie card probably might not crash. It might not be the actual value it is today. There's very rare. It's iconic. It's his only rookie card. But that Stephen, it's the Stephen Castle card is $96,000. Yeah, it pretty much has one way to go, No,
I don't disagree with it. Like a lot of players, I mean, very few like quarterbacks are going to go up and keep going up, and like Mahomes, but like, most football players, especially quarterbacks, there's like a rise and then there's a big crash. And unless they win a Super Bowl,
Lamar Jackson's coming for that crash. That's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean he's probably right in there, but like if like Fanatics is starting this Fanatics studio, there's going to be there's all that advertising. I know you went on a couple of shows ago, but it was like WWF or WWE, whatever the hell it's called now. There's like ESPN, there's like Fox, there's like all these sponsors of Fanatics, and I hate to say it, but like I think that's the direction this thing is going.
But here, okay, you have to make a long-term product. They can shill, they can market and make deals as much as they want. The problem is, and maybe there's the Scotty B's of the world out there, but he even only buys 2 products. Like, it's not a winning product. It's not something you say, yeah, man, I want to keep buying that. They're giving me a great ROI, or I'm having so much fun losing money. When we collect or when we bought, yeah, we're not sitting there like, oh shit, we spent $200 and now we have $20. Like, it just, I don't think so the product also has to be good. Just because they have all these maybe it doesn't. What the fuck do I know? Society is easily swayed at this point because there's a lot of manipulation. So it's the same thing with the housing market. The housing market should have crashed at some point, but they kept it churning. The government gave money to people. They kept it booming and it never fell. Where I don't think cards can be compared to stocks of real estate because, yeah, they could keep it churning, but their shit has no value. In real life, they're like a stock is a company. It's 1,000 people work there. Every day people show up and leave. What was my real estate? People have to live somewhere. People have to have somewhere to work. Cards are going to have a tough time bouncing back up if they fall. That's just, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and don't get me wrong, I don't like a lot of this stuff. It's not like, I'm like, oh yeah, the market's going to, like I said, I don't give a flip one way or the other. I'll look for buying opportunities like I always do and value in something that I want to own for my own personal collection, and to me, I'm right there with you when like certain things are being pumped up and the risk and the downside things can be, hit people hard in a negative way. So I'm right there with you. I just think that I think it's going to get worse before, by worse, I mean, I think they're going to keep shilling this stuff.
No, it's at the peak right now, though. I really believe we're kind of seeing the peak of everyone pushing. And again, I'm going to use my brother. When my brother got in last time, it was about the peak of the push. And I just feel we're there again. I want to answer Bill. Bill, we did kind of a lot. We went over charts, which was really fun, more chill of a show. Charles called in, had a great talk. We watched a couple of videos together, and we're ending here, me and Hardcore. Just Hardcore, any more topics or things you wanted to talk about?
No, I'll leave it at that for now. I'll ask you one thing to marinate on, maybe next show or sometime in the future.
Yeah.
And my you don't have to answer it now, but because I think it's like a really big topic that maybe I can touch on too. Do you think it's possible, depending on what a pop count is of a certain individual card, that someone can shill that card to manipulate the price? Like, say if they bought up all the inventory over years.
Yeah, the answer is yes. The answer is no doubt about. I'll answer right. Yes.
Yeah, like even Mickey Mantle, that's something I thought of, but we'll talk about that more. That's a pretty big topic that I'd like to talk to you about when we get maybe 10 minutes or something. But I appreciate having me on, and we'll see what happens. The one thing I'll say is keep educating people like you did earlier, and whether someone's a newer collector or they're unsure, just collect stuff that you want. That whether the price goes up or down, you don't freaking care, and you're going to keep the thing.
It speaks to you. That's right.
Yeah, unless you're trying to flip something, and then you get you reap what you sow. Maybe you should get burned if you're just trying to flip, because, those people, that might be good today, but might not be good tomorrow. Someone could get hurt. I mean, look at Bo Nix. Bo Nix and his cards are doing pretty good. He just got hurt. I bet you his cards.
Look at Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels. But
even when they do win, Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl. Nobody cares. His card doesn't skyrocket. His card didn't peak.
Right, but if you're a fan of those guys, there could be a buying opportunity after the season's over for some of those
But when
guys.
you say buying opportunity, as long as anything's low, yes, you're right. As long as it's not a buy. I guess when you say buying opportunity, normally that's correlated with it's a good time to buy so you can sell it. It's cheaper now. You could buy it for your collection.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I mean. Thanks for correcting me.
Bro. Hey, it was great talking with you. Thank you for calling in.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Everybody have a good night. All right.
Hey, you too. I didn't yell a lot. It was a cat, the first 34, and I didn't want to. The first 34 minutes we did charts, went over a few things. I talked to Not Sports Cards last night after I DM'd him, and I think we're at a safe place. I don't know if I think he's kind of annoyed with me, so I don't think he'll be, I doubt he'll be here much, but maybe. And I tried to let, it was a shame. That was a shame. That was a bummer. Let's see. Fresh Prince, good to see it. Yeah, it was a fun show. I really liked this video we looked at that we watched. I got rid of it, but I really thought that guy nailed it. We didn't do much else. Bingo card. We looked at these players, a lot of players. Griffey, the first half hour was a lot of fun. We could finish with the player. Let's just do Instagram. It's a little easier. What's this? Con Knipple, November ranking 3rd, November ranking 6th. Why the fuck November? November, it's January, brother. And this is okay, is this a Coke advertisement? Is this an advert? Not to, but this is, they're just constantly shilling. They're constantly pushing. Fanatics Collect. Here's slide. It's just always, they're always pushing in your face like that. Always, always, always. All right. There's your next big card. You got to go buy it. The mangoes are fire. Sports Card Investor says so. $100 card, $200 card. It's a cool concept. They don't need to be $5,000. It's just insane. There's a real pirate on a card. Raiders. Damn. Leaving Oakland after a win, doing that with everybody was so fun. Now, I mean, I guess when we're good, it's when the Raiders are good, the Raider fans show up. But we've been so bad. I haven't had to have fun with that saying in a long time. Guys, it was a fun Thursday. I can't believe we did an hour 44. It was a great time. Chill, more of a card show tonight, and very fun. So I hope you have a great Friday, Saturday, Sunday, great weekend. And I'll see you Tuesday. Yeah, it was really fun. Good seeing you, Rondo, Orlando, Frank, Desi Money, Fresh Prince showed up towards the end. Recon Willie. Oh, it doesn't agree with me often, but always here. Love. I love you. I don't love you. I fucking hate you. It happened with Recon Willie last time too. Recon, what's up with that? Why do I always say that after I say your name? It's because I give shade and I don't want to sound like a jackass because you're always here. But he does not agree with me often at the time. My brother's a smart guy. It was really neat having my brother on last night. I think my brother, my sister, and I don't want to brag about myself, but I think my brother's the youngest, and I think he never felt quite as sharp in school as myself or my sister. So he would love to hear that, Orlando. Thing I like about my brother a lot is, he's got the bro side to him, but he also is just such a genuine good dude. Like, that's why he works well when he's training somebody. He's really good at it because he's so personable and asks, really get down. Just a good heart, good dude. But it was really neat talking with you and Orlando and Petty yesterday with all of us. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you all Tuesday. This is a lot of fun, always fun.